The situation at hand right now, Wick, is about Big Meech's legacy concert. It was canceled at the last minute, okay? You know, a lot of people are just, dumbfounded about what happened. They're saying, 50, he put a post out saying that, I ain't have nothing to do with this. This just is what it is. And right now, I mean, the state that we in hip-hop right now, seems like nothing's going right for everybody except for a few different people. So, I mean, I don't know where to really start with this, so I'm going to just give it to you. I mean, what are your thoughts when you saw that the show was canceled?
Well, when I just saw it, and it's probably been maybe an hour for me when I called you and told you that it had been canceled, my reaction was, wow. And I think I said wow so loud it resonated from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to New York to California. A lot of things shot through my mind instantly. One was, this had 50 Cent's fingerprints all over it. That's what I thought. That's, I don't care what nobody said. I called a few people before I even hit you, just to kind of, to even make sure what I was sending you was for real. Yeah. I didn't want you to get up out of bed because I know how you are after you know what I'm saying, at 7 o'clock. Yeah. 3 o'clock. So I didn't want you, so before I even, hit you with it, I called a few people to make sure that this was true. My thoughts are this right here, B-High. There's a lot of people that's gonna be furious with 50 Cent. Of course, like you just said, 50 is already, you know what I'm saying, telling folks that he had nothing to do with this. He's backing up on this one right here. And this ain't, the 50 we know would be like, yeah, I did it. He ain't taking ownership of this one right here. Exactly. So he's already saying, distancing himself from this, but we all know that whether it was directly or indirectly, it was because of 50. Yeah. It was because of the last 3-4 weeks of the back and forths. I think that is very unfortunate that we're in a place in hip hop right now that 1 or 2 or 3 people have all the power in hip hop to be able to affect a show that's going on in Florida, way from Cali or from London or from New York or wherever you're from, that speaks a lot. The man was coming home. It's a welcome back concert. I don't know if it's also because the word was out that Lil Baby had bagged out the concert. I saw online where Bootsy said that he was still going to do it, but he seemed like he was when I was reading his body language, he didn't seem as enthusiastic as I thought he should be. I was almost, if I was buying a ticket and I looked at Bootsy interview, I might have been like, well, damn, I might not buy a ticket. Then the word is out that Lil Baby is not going to be there, so I'm thinking that ticket sales had a lot to do with this. But who pushed that? You know what I'm saying? Who pushed that letterhead out there? That narrative out there that a lot of the artists wasn't going to be there. That this wasn't going to be successful, and put that energy into the galaxy. So it's just disappointing. It's a blackout. It's a blackout for hip hop. And my last thing, and I'm gonna throw it to you because I am furious. This right here now has the potential to drag a lot of people in it. Like I always tell you, it's not about the 2 artists. It's not about Rose. It's not about 50 at this point. It's not about Meech. Now it's about people around the industry, people from Dade County, people from New York. People are going to chime in all across this country. And they take this shit serious. The backlash from this right here, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be, people get hurt behind this type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you and I have been preaching for from day one, that playing it affects the followers. 85% of people are followers. They sheep, especially when it comes to the music industry. People just want to get up, go to work on Friday and Saturday, be entertained. Not to have to choose a side, you know what I'm saying? Because sides are going to have to be, the line is going to be drawn. Are you Are you upset that it's over? Even if you ain't getting a ticket, there are going to be people that have an opinion about it. I wasn't going to the concert, but now I feel like, well, goddamn, we can't even have a concert because this person doesn't want the concert. Or this person is mad about a goddamn picture.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's just bullshit. And even if 50 directly, you know, when I first heard, I thought maybe he called a parole officer or something. Hey, you know, I'm thinking it could have got that devious. But as I'm looking at stuff now, I think it was just a combination of, you know, hating the whole time, you know, saying this, saying that, the bad press, you know, ultimately hurt the show.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna end it on this right here. You have a guy in 50 that's upset that as long as Meech was out here selling dope to the community, let me keep it real now.
Okay.
And hurting families, mothers crying, black folks dying, he rewarded them with a show. I'm gonna show you how deep this shit be getting, how our mindset is. He rewarded with a show and put his son through acting school. That was applauded. That wasn't a problem. But time he so-called snitches on one drug dealer that's doing the same thing that that Meech went to prison for. So the millions of lives lost didn't matter. He rewarded Meech for it. But it was a deal breaker to snitch on one guy that was doing the same thing Meech was doing. Do you understand? You're following what I'm saying.
Seeing what you're saying.
Right? Then you turn around and a female or whoever, this documentary about to come out, you reward that right there. So the point that I'm making to you, all this is just personal bullshit. Feelings hurt. This is nothing. This is not no, I'm standing on, you know, trying to make the culture better. This is narcissistic behavior. Me. Think about what I just told you. As long as you sold keys in the community, killed the community, I rewarded you with a show. But if you put a guy in jail that was doing the same thing right there, that's a deal breaker for me.
I feel exactly where you're coming from with that, Wick, but on my stance of it all, you know, what my heart really goes out to is somebody's mama was going to run that concession stand in that stadium tonight. And she was dependent on that concert. Somebody's daddy was going to be working security or be an usher at that stadium tonight. And he was dependent on that concert. And now they trying to figure out where they're going to get their money from to take care of their family because this is hurting them.
Right.
You know, it gets bigger than, you know, folks going back and forth and bickering and all this extra stuff. You're looking up and, you know, people are being hurt behind, you know, a few folks can't get along. Now, for me, I sat on the side of this mic for over a decade and I've seen black men die. I've seen black men being blackballed. I've seen people's families, you know, crumble after black men have died and have been blackballed. And I've sat there and grieved with a lot of different people at the same time. After seeing that for over a decade, it comes a time to where you just get tired of all of the bullshit, like you said, to where it's like, okay, when are we going to draw the line? Right. See, now it's time to pick a side again, Wick. But this time, you got to pick a side on, are you for the culture? Or you against the culture.
Right.
And the kind of behavior that's tearing down another brother is not for the culture anymore. So we have to direct our attention to people that are dividing the culture and not bringing it together and making it a harmonious situation to where everybody can get money and live and be fruitful and multiply and be happy. See, I have to tie everybody into this because the culture and the atmosphere that we're living in right now, nobody's winning. And nobody's been winning for the last decade right about now. The young folks, they done killed off a whole generation of artists because they going back and forth, but they going back and forth and assassinating each other with the sticks.
Right.
But now you got the OGs that ain't no better. They going back and forth, but they assassinating each other's characters.
Right.
So either way it go, you messing up that man's money and you the last one standing in every case.
Right.
50 Cent is one of the biggest moguls that we've ever seen in hip hop. And, you know, he could easily go down in Black history as somebody to idolize and to look up to for his contributions to hip hop and his successes that he's had.
Right.
Same thing with Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
You know, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. You know, his contributions are unequal to a lot of different folks. Same thing with Drake. Drake, we love Drake too. His contributions are humongous. Rick Ross, one of the greatest businessmen and rappers that hip hop has ever seen. However, we can't seem to get people together to make this money and make it a safe and happy place for the people to be able to be successful in. Like I said, when we look at the Super Bowl, you know, yes, I understand that Kendrick sent a lot of messages out there, but the biggest message was him tearing down another nigga.
Right, that was the
it
biggest
ain't no
message.
way around that. That's the message that everybody was there for.
Correct.
I don't give a damn how deep you think the shit was. At the end of the day, at the end of the show, it was a black man tearing down another black man for a bunch of white folks to see.
And we make
for their entertainment. Now, it's not entertaining.
Yep.
Okay, that shit ain't entertaining no more. What really would have been entertaining for me, if I was watching the Super Bowl and I would have saw Kendrick bring out Drake and Lil Wayne, and they hit us with a kumbaya. That would have went just as viral as him lynching Drake in front of everybody.
Wow.
Yes, Drake had it coming. Yes, he was poking the polar bear, and he got what he had coming.
Right.
But who's going to be the person to stand up and say, enough is enough?
Right.
Who's going to say that? Now, we looking at the Meech situation. This concert got canceled. You got a lot of people that were affected that were going to make some money off of this situation. We talking about Black Lives Mattering and black bank accounts mattering. It's a lot of small people that were going to get enough money to stay in their house another month.
Right.
Enough money to put some clothes on their kids' back. Enough money to keep their lights on and their bills paid. But guess what? They're not going to be able to do that now because black folks is going back and forth bickering. How do we know if Big Meech could have been the person to bring 50 and Rick Ross together at that concert and hit us with another kumbaya? That would have been just as big of a moneymaker as anything else. But we can't figure out how to do that. We get to a point to where we're heading back to self-destruction. And by the end of it, nobody's going to win and nobody's going to be getting money and everybody's going to be looking crazy. So I'm at a point right now that, yeah, we're going to draw another line. Either you with us or you against us, and I'm talking about everybody in the culture.
Right.
Black, white, Jew, or Gentile.
Right.
If you're a white podcaster, if all you want to put out is beef, keeping black folks going back and forth and they coming on your show and niggas is winding up dead, or niggas is winding up in jail after they leave your show, then you on the other side of the line. You ain't with us.
Right.
You're not on our side, but you want to be a part of the culture. We got to draw that line. If you're a black podcast, then you're doing the same thing. And you getting people incriminated and getting people indicted and getting people killed, you on the other side. If you a rapper and you don't know how to compromise, you on the other side of that line. You're not for the culture because you're thinking about yourself.
Right.
You're not thinking about me. You're not thinking about the DJ. You're not thinking about the janitor. You're not thinking about all of the little people.
The vendors.
The vendors.
Yeah.
The people that make money off of this billion-dollar business that we call hip-hop.
Yeah.
We canceling all of these folks out one by one. We already don't have future throwback concerts because the whole generation of young folks gonna be dead for the 40-year-old folks when they turn 40, so that's money that's already been X'd out. Now we got folks that's over here pushing 40 and over 40, damn near pushing 50, they canceling out all that money right now.
Correct.
For grown folks now.
Right. And
When are we gonna come together and say, you know what, enough is enough, and let's go ahead and see eye to eye and start making some compromises around here? You know, I done sat back and I done watched it, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And you got grown folks acting like little ass kids. You supposed to be a grown ass man. Also, this street shit. Y'all done let the street shit get into the business.
Right.
Whether somebody's ratting, telling, and all this extra shit, that ain't got nothing to do with a concert.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with a TV show.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
But when you start beefing about that shit, You bring me into it inadvertently because now you fucking with my money too.
Right.
So at what point are we going to say, you know what? Let's get this money in a positive way. Because see, what you're not going to tell me is that we can't get together and be creative.
Right.
See, we done lost all creativity in the culture. Mm-hmm. All of the people that know how to do things and can really create, we ain't allowing them to blossom because of this blackball culture. Oh, you might bring too much to the game.
Right.
Let me shut you down.
Right.
You better than me. Mm-hmm. Let me shut you down.
Right.
I don't like you because people like you, so let me shut you down.
Right.
Okay, then we got just regular beef in between that starts over nothing, and folks is winding up dead. So my whole thing is now, when are we going to come to a round table and compromise and put on a better show? Like I said, the Super Bowl was awesome. I enjoyed that Kendrick show just like everybody else. I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But as a grown-ass thinking man, I do understand that we got control of ourselves and we do have the right and will to make decisions. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we got to make those decisions that are difficult. You know, it's difficult to have a podcast that can sustain itself for over a decade and not send niggas to hell. Mm-hmm. But guess what, nigga? We come in here, we get creative and find ways to generate content, views, and money by uplifting other people. Mm-hmm. We might debate stuff, but that's like banter. It ain't causing nobody to die or go to hell or be blackballed.
Right.
And more than that, we over here uplifting folks, helping them to get more money.
Absolutely.
How many folks that came in here and them streams done went through the roof?
Absolutely.
How many folks that came through here and they shows done went through the roof? Mm-hmm. Because we being creative with the way that we create content and we're giving the people what they need. 120 million viewers, hell, them Super Bowl numbers too.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? We did it doing it the right way. And it ain't even necessarily the right way. It's just a positive way that uplifts the culture to move it forward. That's why we call it the forward culture. We're not going backwards. Mm-hmm. We're going backwards now. You looking up self-destruction, nigga, we heading for self-destruction for real. Because nobody's alive. Niggas ain't even recognizing that. Nobody even wants to admit that a whole generation of artists have died over the last 10 years. And everybody that's left is bickering with each other, still mad as hell over some bullshit.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody coming to the table and saying, pin the tail on the donkey, this is what it really is. Rick Ross, 50 Cent, they've been beefing for 10 goddamn years.
15
years.
But
how the fuck you gonna be mad at a nigga for 15 goddamn years and y'all can't figure out shit?
But they're just the 50 and Rick Ross are just, it ain't even really about them. They are the leader of a mentality. There are people right now, I told you when we talked about this entire issue, you know, that were on either side. Man, Meech, he deserved that because he snitched and this and that. And I said, shit, when 50 got shot, he ran and yelled from the highest mountain. There was Irv Gotti in them. The people that follow him, they leave that little part out. The people that follow Ross, they leave out this part about, well, he was in there. He was a correction officer. See, people choose what they want instead of choosing unity. I'm going to choose this bullshit. I'm going to choose this handful of bullshit. But the problem that you and I are having is trying to get them to choose unity. That's it.
How hard would it be to choose unity when there's a bag on the other side of unity?
Right.
Atlanta was built on unity.
Right.
You got the Dungeon family. You got So Def.
Yeah.
You got the Crunk movement.
Yeah.
The Snap movement. Digital movements. The futuristic movements. I mean, you had all kinds of movements of brothers that moved in unison, that worked with each other, did music with each other, grew up with each other, got each other paid for years.
Yeah.
Somehow along the way, we get away from that.
Yeah.
You talking about unity, we talking about the DJs in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We can't even get niggas that's DJing to get along no more. These niggas is mad at each other. It's like, okay, now, goddamn.
Yeah.
Nigga, if the record's good, play the motherfucking record.
Simple as that.
If the record's good, play the motherfucking record.
Simple as that.
What's so difficult about that?
Yeah.
Money ain't got to always be exchanging hands all the time.
Right.
Let's just lift somebody up and help them get out there.
Right.
Help them take care of their family.
Yeah.
And let's say the people that we helping, hey man, return the favor.
Yeah.
Come to my club. Perform at my club. Don't just take my clout that I gave you and run with it.
Yeah.
See, we looked up, it came to a time to where we started to take each other for granted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't be taking folks for granted.
Yeah. Well, Beehive, I'm going to tell you this, and this is going to be my last statement. As the older hip hop, we sat here and talked about the young boys, when the Dolphs got killed, when this rapper got killed, this rapper, and we was like, you know, the young folks fucking up hip hop. Then we get a second reprieve. You know, we get the 50 years of hip hop, all the legends come out in all the cities. You know, legends are dropping albums now. Nas did one with 21.
Yeah.
And we get the ball back in our hands. And this is what happens.
What do you think it's going to take, Wick, to get everybody on the same page again?
We got the ball back in our hands, and this is the first example of, you know, hey, you know, the young niggas fucking up hip hop. Give it back to the OGs, and we'll show y'all how to do it right. And this is what happened. So we're no better than the young guys.
Those are the facts.
I'm sitting here like, and so what about all the old school rappers that you know they cheered when you know what, we get a chance to redo it.
Yeah.
We get a chance to be the stewards of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And it falls in the hands of 50 and Ross, and this is what we get. What about the guys that the great rappers? You know, everybody mad at Snoop. Now everybody gonna be mad at 50. Everybody gonna be mad at Ross. We done fucked it up worse than the young folk.
Well, see, this is my thing right now, though, Wick. This is something that can easily be turned around following the compromise.
Yeah.
You know, an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. And if can't nobody see shit, we all fucked up out here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we come to the table and we compromise and we say, hey, man, let's get this bag together, we're more stronger together. See, the issue is it's all boiling down to where it seems like everybody wants to be the one.
The one, yeah.
What about the we?
The we,
what about the us?
Yeah.
What about the community? What about the group esteem that we lack in our community?
Yeah.
See, so at this point right now, we need everybody to move in unison and cut out all of the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that one life that 50 is saying from the guy Cuffy that Meech ruined, it wasn't as important as the millions of lives that are going to be ruined now.
And see, the thing is that, you know, we can't rewrite the past.
Right.
You know, everybody in these situations have a lot of trauma that they're dealing with. But at some point, somebody's got to stand up and say it's time to make a compromise. Yeah. And it's also time for the fans. See,
to stop following the bullshit.
Yeah. See, we got a lot of sheeple out here.
Yeah.
You know, when are the people going to draw the line? Because, see, when we get on here, we say, yeah, we enjoyed the Super Bowl performance, but at the end of the day, you know, it still was some shit that was causing us to look stupid in front of the world eye. Because it's still another black man tearing down another black man. Niggas was trying to tell me that Drake wasn't really black. Nigga, he mixed. Niggas just trying to find a way to tiptoe around and make it something else.
Correct.
No, it's a black man tearing down another damn black man.
Right. Yeah. That's what we do.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what we do.
So when are we gonna draw the line and say, you know what? I'm gonna be the leader of this new school and say, I'm bringing this shit together. See, if you want to show me some drama, if you want to show me some nuts, if you want to show me that you really about this life, show me that you willing to put your shit on hold to get other folks up through there.
Right.
See, Harriet Tubman, her life was on the line every time she went back and got every last one of them goddamn slaves. She went back and said, fuck this shit, it ain't about me. I got to free my people. So now you talking about being a leader, nigga, let me see you free some motherfuckers, not kill nobody.
Correct.
Not assassinate people's characters. And that's just where I'm at with that shit, Wick.
Yes, sir.
You know, I done tried to, you know, I don't like to get mad about nothing and I normally keep it cool. But when this happened, it kind of triggered me. Because I go back through my memories museum and I look at the industry that I got into as a young man that I enjoyed at first because it was so damn fun. But then I looked up and I started seeing everybody that I was working with dying. I looked up and I started seeing people that were working hard trying to amount to something getting blackballed and shit. And I looked up and it was our people doing it to them. And it was coming from the other side too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we got to deal with it from the other side, and we got to deal with it from the inside. At least let's correct the shit that's going on the inside so we can be healthy enough to fight. And that's all I got to say about that.
So I have nothing else to say, big guy. You snapped on that right there. Hopefully the people are here, and I'm sure it's gonna be people in the comments, man. You know, they cheering that the show is canceled.
They want to see death and destruction.
Death and destruction, yeah. They
that's
cheer that on.
Ignorance.
Absolutely. So
and you don't realize that you're hurting yourself doing that.
Correct.
Because guess what? Your kids is looking up to this.
Yeah.
Your kids are being indoctrinated into a hating ass culture.
Right.
So now you raising these little hating ass niggas. I hate to say it. You raising a bunch of little hating ass niggas. Now last time I checked, we can't stand hating ass niggas.
Yeah.
So let's just stop it.
Let's stop.
Let's bring the brotherhood back to the hood.
Yep.
And make it all good one more time, man.
All right.
Hit the comments. Let me know how you feel. B-High Radio shouted. Big Galaxy. Holla at y'all in a minute, man. We gone.